Hey everyone, welcome back to Sports Tea. Tonight, I'm going to discuss Charles Barkley's recent rant on TNT, Jimmy Butler's 7 game suspension, Kawhi Leonard's return, and the supposed MVP race between Jokic and SGA. But before we get into it, please do me a favor and smash the like button as you all load into the room. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I'm really looking forward to tonight's episode. I do want to take a moment to shout out our members of the channel. So just give me one moment to do that, and then we'll start rocking and rolling. How's everybody doing tonight? Happy Friday. Okay, so I do just want to quickly shout out Tom Smithers. Thank you so much for being an all-star. Zeno Omega, Kurt Nishimura, Raymond Chambers, Eden Jr., Danny Season, Debo4735, Jason Williams, Sports Facts, Jamie Costello, Coach Marcus, Silvio Manuel, Lester's Banana, Wise Guy 23, Leon Jones, Right Hand Cam, Main Event, Brown B, Ill Will 42, Kedrian Hardy, William Wright, Lewis Matthews, Charles Hookah, Lisa Taylor, Brenda, Meg XD, Reginald McLendon, Panama 135, V Dub, Saeed Gore, Spurs Ann, Ron C23, Blanco Smoke, T Bert the Twin, Relax and Focus, WWKM, Big Al Master Chief, Jeffrey Guyett, Christopher Baldwin. It's not that serious. Thank you so much for being members. I really appreciate you all. You continue to help the channel to grow and expand. And I'm just really grateful to be here and to deliver you guys the content that you enjoy. So thank you so much for being here. Let's see who's in the chat. Salute to everybody in the chat. Thank you guys for joining tonight. Lee Kinney, shout out to you. Right Hand Cam, I know you got to go to work in the morning. Thank you for stopping by. Frankie Fernandez, you started the chat off really hot. Thank you for that. Larry Jameson, why do the Lakers have an easy schedule? You know what? The NBA needs some good ratings, right? I guess they believe that if the Lakers are doing well, that will contribute to that. Ain't no party like a sports tea party. Salute to you, Nufo. Ron C23 in the building. Shout out to the moderators. Thank you guys for holding me down tonight. Who's hooping with us tonight? Happy Friday, JSRL Padre. Let's rock. I'm with you on that. Chick Hearn forever. I'm right here. I'm so sorry that I was late. I have been coming late lately. I'm trying to do better. My schedule has been really rough, but I'm just going to keep trying to get better and better. So, thank you guys for hanging in there with me. I know it's a late night. Zachary V, Danny Season, salute to you guys. Manny Coffee, you've been late lately. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to get better. Okay. Dribble on in. I love it. Lay up the like button. Yes, please, guys, smash the like button for me. Handyman TV, salute to you. Thank you so much. Salute to you, Cirques. Our TY the guy. Zachary V, you're awesome as well. D frequency. I try not to destroy people. Really, I think, when you manage people, when you're a leader, they're supposed to feel really good. I think coaching is positive, and yeah, I take pride in really being someone that people like to work with. According to Rump Roast, Barkley, the Lakers suck, yet they're the fourth seed in the Western Conference, proving that Barkley is elite at two things: eating and talking out of his ass. I mean, the Lakers were like the 11th seed like 2 days ago. So, obviously the standings will go up and down and shift throughout the season. It's still early. We haven't even made it to the All-Star break. So, I think that that's a really interesting comment. But yeah, we'll see. We're going to continue to see how the Lakers season shapes out and where they're going to go. I'm tired of talking about them. But, I thought the Charles Barkley rant was epic. I thought it was hilarious, and, I can't wait to get into that with you guys. So, like I said, guys, as you continue to trickle into the room, please do me a favor and smash the like button, okay? So, let's just go ahead and jump right into this first topic of the night, which is Charles Barkley. I so and just to even kind of rewind and set the stage for this Charles Barkley rant, about 2 weeks ago, JJ Redick was asked about why NBA ratings are in the toilet. And just in case you guys missed it, I'll play it for you again.
JJ, the last few days, there's been a lot of talk about NBA ratings, just the state of the league, the 3-point line, and different solutions or fixes to some of the perceived problems. As someone who's been a player on the media side and on the coaching side, what's your take on all of that?
I was hoping I wouldn't have to provide takes anymore. Try to be brief here. I said the other night, I don't think the league is as homogenized as a lot of people make it out to be. There are certain rosters, certain players that, because of their skill set, it makes sense to shoot a lot of threes. What I think gets lost a little bit in the amount of 3-point attempts is what has been taken away, which is a steady decline in long twos. What I checked this last year, so don't quote me on this, but what has increased along with 3-point volume is points in the paint. So the three has allowed more space for people to actually score at the rim and score in the paint. So that's the strategy. In terms of the ratings, there's a lot of probably whys. I would speculate some of it is streaming. Some of it is the fact that in my own household, we have YouTube TV, and we don't have Spectrum right now. We have Spectrum Wi-Fi, but not Spectrum cable. And my family can't watch Lakers games that aren't nationally televised. I do have a free account from Spectrum. I'm just too lazy to pick it up. There on that, Spectrum has been very good to me.
You probably send somebody out there.
Yeah, but my point to that is, in my own household, I have 9 or 10 subscriptions. I lose my password to all of these. I think with the death of cable, people unplugging and then relying on streaming networks, I think it's not easy to watch an NBA game, to find an NBA game. I think that's part of it. Maybe that's a small percentage of it, but that's certainly a factor in all of this. And I've told Adam this, so I'll say this again. I don't think we as, and by we, I was part of it, we as the sort of national partners have done a good job of storytelling, of celebrating the game. If I'm a casual fan and you tell me every time I turn on the television that the product sucks, well, I'm not going to watch the product. And that's really what has happened. over the last 10 to 15 years. I don't know why. It's not funny to me. Nothing is entertaining to me. This game should be celebrated. I've watched the league evolve. I'm in this league right now. I can tell you without fact or with fact that the league is more talented and not just raw talent. The league is more talented and skilled than it was 18 years ago when I was drafted. That's a fact. There are more players that are excellent. There are more teams that are excellent. I heard when I played for, 4 or 5 years, well, why don't we even play the regular season? We know who's going to be in the finals. Well, guess what? We have parity now. And we're not celebrating parity. We're not celebrating the fact that the Western Conference is as loaded as it is. We're playing a Sacramento team tonight that's incredible, with incredible talent, and they've got a losing record. It's not because they're a bad basketball team. I don't know. We don't have anybody that's willing to step up to the fact that this is an awesome game and we should talk about it and celebrate it in a positive way. That doesn't mean we don't critique it. We should critique it, but we should celebrate it. Nobody's doing that. And the people that are have a small niche following on Twitter. And frankly, I would argue as well that everyone in our ecosystem pays too much attention to what is said on Twitter. And part of this whole ratings discussion is because people on Twitter are talking about it.
Interesting. I normally don't do this, but progressive sports fan, do you kiss your mother with that mouth? Sheesh. Yikes. We always, I guess trolls are good for the chat sometime, but yikes, I do not want bad vibes in here. Okay. Like, for me, as far as JJ Redick is concerned, I just wonder where was the positivity in the media when JJ Redick was in the media saying that the league was watered down and Rasheed Wallace went off on him. What about the positivity when JJ Redick wants to see, do we remember when he was saying that Larry Bird was shooting completely uncontested, spewing pure lies about Larry Legend? Dominique Wilkins and Michael Cooper went off on him. Where was the positivity then when he was calling Bob Cousy's era of basketball firemen and plumbers? And Bob Cousy and Jerry West did what? They went off on him. They literally took belts to his ass. So where was the positivity then? He is one of the main reasons for the battle of the eras that exists today. He's a complete disgrace. He was an underwhelming role player at best, who accomplished nothing in the NBA, by the way, and he spent a lot of time criticizing legends of this game. While he was in the media, he is completely shameful. And he also criticized players, anybody playing alongside LeBron James that he could blame, while he was in the media. What happened to the positivity then? JJ Redick is shameful. But, he made a name for himself by betraying the fraternity of the game and making a mockery of the league. He is just pathetic. JJ Redick is a complete shit stain on the NBA and the NBA media that he was once a part of. The fact that LeBron James would stand next to him is absolutely sickening. It's disgraceful that LeBron James got Darvin Ham fired for a degenerate scumbag like JJ Redick. Charles Barkley responded and went blood on JJ Redick and the Lakers. He went on an epic rant last night after the Celtics versus Timberwolves game. Ernie was trying to get through the highlights, and he starts talking about how they shot almost 100 3-pointers in that game. It's totally crazy that teams are shooting at that volume. I think it's completely ridiculous. It's disgusting that Tatum took almost 20 shots from behind the arc in that game. That's not a good brand of basketball. And I can't believe I have this guy, World Breaker, texting me that Tatum is better than Larry Bird. Completely hilarious. But that's a whole other conversation to have. Charles Barkley decides to interject Ernie's recap and go straight to the white meat. Let's hear it.
Okay. And then second thing is yesterday there was a viral clip of Charles Barkley taking some shots at you for your analysis of the NBA sphere and how the game is covered. Did you hear that? I assume you did, based on your
I read a text from somebody after the game. I look at my phone. It says something about Charles Barkley, and I'm like, huh? But Greg and both showed me. I didn't make it all the way through the clip. I got to be honest with you. My resting heart rate is probably 64. I watched the clip. It was 64. Literally don't care. I have other thoughts, but don't care.
What?
Okay. And then second thing is
Sorry, guys. That was the wrong soundbite.
Randall stepping back and knocking down a three. Yeah, there were a lot of threes shot tonight. Yes, nearly 100 combined between the two teams.
100 threes. That's right. Yeah, no, Ernie. You know what it is. It's Chuck's fault.
Why?
Well, because some idiot named Jason Monroe said something about then. I heard JJ Redick said something about me. JJ, you better calm down, because when you come for the king, you better not miss.
Did he name you specifically, or was he just talking about folks on TV?
He said something about we're the reason people ain't watching this crappy product we got. JJ. Yeah, us, like we out there jacking up 100 threes a night. JJ, I don't know Jason Monroe. I don't know who that is, but JJ, you come for the king, you better not miss. Because I can get you, brother, because I got your Lakers games. You can't hide them flaws they got. You just a dead man walking. They got rid of Frank Vogel, who did a good job. They got rid of Darvingham, who did a good job. If you came out there thinking you were going to change things with that same ugly girl you went on a date with.
64-51 was your halftime score. As we get back to the highlights, and Rudy Gobert.
So he came in there thinking, I can make this thing work. Hell, you can.
77,
Put the makeup on that pig.
Man, the Lakers are big.
The Lakers stink, man.
Oh, man, okay.
Come on, man.
Tatum, by the way, had
What you say? Put some makeup on that pig. I'm JJ Redick. I can make this thing work. Please. Tico, please.
Josh Minot right there with the big dunk. As Minnesota comes back at him, and DiVincenzo ties it up.
Way to go,
at 94.
About being a professional. You come for me. You better not miss.
We heard that already.
Okay.
As Tatum.
We're the reason ratings are down.
Oh,
we're the reason. Like we playing.
We're only on an hour.
Hey, listen. Me and Shaq, that's exactly right. If me and Shaq played, damn, the ratings would be down.
Look at Derek White.
But in fairness, if me and Shaq played, we'd be like the third or fourth best players on that Laker team right now.
That is the last gasp for Minnesota.
LeBron AD did. Chuck, get in the game. Chuck, get in the game. Damn bombs out there. But it's Frank Vogel and Darvinham's fault.
How did we go there?
I'm
talking about
people jacking up 100 threes saying we're the reason late raises are down. 30 seconds to another 3-point shooting contest.
What? 30 seconds. What are the lotto numbers for next month? That's what Damon said.
Damon, stop it, man. I got to be able to see, fool.
Oh my gosh! All right,
Tell us how you really feel. It's a big game for the Sixers, son. They need to win this game.
Yep, I was. See, now we get back to where we started.
See, I don't bother nobody, but if you hit me, I'm gonna hit you back.
Okay, face of the league. It's not that JJ Redick lied about them being plumbers and firemen. They were. It's the fact that he was completely tone deaf in making that comment. The fact that guys had to work in the summertime and he didn't, and all he was mediocre at best, is shameful. He had access to the best of everything and was still just an average, like a guy on a team, barely a role player that was serviceable. So he didn't lie. Nobody's saying that he lied about being plumbers and firemen, back in the day. That's true. It's just the fact that he mentioned that as if that was supposed to be a bad thing. He mentioned that as if that meant that they couldn't play basketball because they went to work in the summer. Like, fuck you, JJ Redick. These guys paved the way for you not have to work in the summer. That's the point, face of the league. If you don't understand that, then I don't know what to tell you. Now back to this Charles Barkley rant. The Lakers are bums. The best part of this rant was the fact that he said Chuck and Shaq can play for the team, and they're the best after LeBron and AD. I was weak. Oh my God, Charles Barkley ripped JJ Redick and the Lakers. Get some makeup on that pig? JJ is a dead man walking? I'm not sure if any of you guys noticed that Ernie didn't want to let Barkley cook on JJ. He wanted to protect him. What a lame. Barkley cooked JJ Redick. Absolutely cooked. The man should be fired. Let's see if he makes it to the Western Conference Finals this year. The Lakers are the 4th seed, 5th seed. Sounds like fake news to me. They'll be back in the bottom in no time. They're a bunch of bums. Bums. But what do you guys think? Did the Inside the NBA crew tank the NBA ratings? I'll read some more comments and then I'll open the phone lines for one call before we move on to the next topic. Yeah, that's why they didn't suck back then. Imagine if they had all of the hours that JJ Redick had to be JJ Redick, but yet they were still guys like Jerry West and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. How would you know if they sucked back then if you didn't watch it? How did they suck? In which ways did they suck? They sucked back then. They did way more than today's guys with less. Today's guys suck. They can't even get on the floor for 82 games. Make it make sense. With all the resources, all the technology, get your ass on the floor and play. A plumber and a firefighter will dog walk a podcaster in anything physical. Sure can. Of course, he's always trying to protect his complexion. Every time, Roncy. That's right, Zachary V. Dead man walking. I loved it. You can make an asterisk goat after 2014, but that would be a waste of time. And also, there is none. So, an even further waste of time. Great comment. East B, salute to you. The NBA is going to make sure a big trade happens for the Lakers. Oh, I'm certain of it. Can't wait to see what the train wreck will be for the rest of the season. Thank you for the $9.99 super chat, Afro Universe. I appreciate you, sir. I think I saw Michael Jordan fans are the best in the chat. I can't find the comment now, but oh, there you go. Salute to you, Michael Jordan fans are the best. Guys, run over there and subscribe to their channel. Dart is amazing. They have great panel debates and overall just a really cool channel. So go over there and like, share, and subscribe. Don't know if y'all saw, but I won a Kuzi versus Curry debate a few weeks ago. It wasn't as hard as you'd think it'd be. I I don't see how it's hard at all, Dart, when you have Curry, who's just not really a fourth quarter player. And I'm sure people are going to jump down my throat and jump all over me. I love Steph Curry. I think he's fantastic. I think he's the greatest player of today's era, but he's just not. I think that guys of the past are better shooters. I think that when it's crunch time, down the stretch, when it matters, that's when you need to be able to hit shots. I'm not going to say that Steph Curry never hit game winners. I'm not going to say he was never came up big in the fourth quarter, but I will not be able to get past 2016 when he completely collapsed under pressure defense, couldn't hit shots, was hitting tour dates. I'm good. I don't even want to think about that series. Awful. Anyway, guys, call in. I have time for one call on this topic. I would love to hear your thoughts. I want to hear from you guys. Do you guys think that the TNT crew, Charles Barkley, Shaq, Ernie, Kenny the Jet Smith, do you think that they're responsible for the NBA ratings tanking? Is Charles Barkley the reason why the NBA ratings are in the fucking toilet? Let's go. NBA ratings are in the toilet. It's Charles Barkley's fault. It's TNT's fault. Nobody's celebrating the NBA today because I think they are. There's plenty of people celebrating the NBA, but what they're celebrating are the foreign players. Oftentimes, the media is telling lies. They're praising folks like Bronny James, where we're talking about a 40-year-old every day. We're talking about a 40-year-old who has an installed weave on his head every day. And we expect for NBA ratings to be at its peak. That doesn't make any sense. LeBron James is literally wearing a lace front wig. But we want to talk about him every day. Thanks for calling Sports Tea. Talk to me nice. Caller from Arizona. Who do I have on the line? Uh-oh. It looks like you're not connected. Just give me one moment. Don't hang up. One second. I'm just reconnecting. All righty. Caller from Arizona. Talk to me nice. Who do we have on the line?
This is Kurt from Phoenix.
Hi, Kurt. So nice to hear from you. How's it going?
It's going good. I don't think you can blame TNT, the crew there. I think that's the best thing in basketball right now is watching them rather than the actual game because they tell it how it is, how they see it. And, I know that there are groups out there that want to cancel the 90s. But, if you look at like the 80s and the 90s, I mean, you had different like Lakers, with Showtime, you had the tail end of Dr. J, you had Bird, then you had the Bad Boy Pistons, and then you had Jordan with the triangle offense and Pippen, and then you had Olajuwon. There were so many teams that were able to dominate for a certain time period, but they all played different styles and different games. Whereas now everyone is just a copycat because of the analytics of the three ball. So it's just very, very boring. And that's just my opinion, but I think that's the problem. You just have to make sure somehow you can diversify the game.
I mean, I agree with you. And this is something that Shaquille O'Neal has brought up. Isaiah Thomas has mentioned this. Multiple people have said that the entire league is just a copycat league. Nobody's standing for anything. They're just shooting very high volume of 3-point shots. It's not good.
You know, ever since Adam Silver has taken over, he's relaxed so many of the standards when it comes to defense, even when it comes to just how people behave. I mean, the coaches always used to have to wear suits, and even the players that were not playing. And now, you know, the coaches are like in sweaters and things. It's almost like every day is casual Friday. You know, I can't tell if they're in preseason or if it's the summer league. It's terrible. And when you let down the standards for the players, it just allows for more bad behavior and not actually meeting the standard of the league. And then the best teams usually even had higher standards than the league minimum. And those were always the best teams because they made sure everyone was accountable to a certain standard. You know, what's happening in Miami with, you know, Butler, you know, he needs to be held to that standard. He signed a contract.
Yeah.
He owes it to the fans.
Kurt, I'm going to get into that. That's the next topic, I promise.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
No, it's going to be good. I can't wait to talk about Jimmy Butler because everything that you're saying, that's what I resonate with a lot. And I think that, you know, players, they're looking at it through the wrong lens and they don't recognize the opportunity that they've been given for however many seasons that they've already had.
I've never seen such a generation of players where they bash previous generations. All the other generations would always really appreciate the generation before because they always made the league better and more possible for them.
Right. But you want to know what it is, though? I think that today, more than ever, people in society, they're looking for recognition. They need it. They have a high thirst for validation. Social media, all of these platforms that, you know, it provides you with like a fear of missing out, a feeling that, you know, you need to be belonging to something. You must be a part of something. You must be recognized. You must be, you know, under some sort of spotlight. If you're not, maybe there's something wrong with you. If people aren't recognizing you, then, hey, you know, maybe you've done something wrong. Maybe you're not good enough. And back in the day, it was the work that pushed people forward and propelled them. You know, they didn't necessarily need a pat on the back because, you know, what they were doing was what they were supposed to do. The standard was much higher back then than it is now. Today, people just want to manufacture success. They want to be given accolades and recognition just for existing. If you wake up in the morning, you must be recognized.
I agree.
Instead of having,
Anyway.
you know, to accomplish something very significant, right? So
Yeah.
I think that, yeah, to your point, the standards have for sure lowered.
Okay. Well, it's always great talking to you.
So nice talking to you as well, Kurt. Thank you so much for calling in.
All right. Bye-bye.
Alrighty, bye-bye. Okay, guys. Lazy husband. If I had to choose a player to take a final shot to win a game, I'd choose Jordan. But if I could pick one to shoot to save my life, I would pick Bird. Pat Riley. I mean, I absolutely love that comment. I think it's just wonderful. And nowhere in that statement would anybody be picking anybody from today's game. I wouldn't. I wouldn't pick not one single player to shoot a shot to save my life that's in this league. I need an assassin shooting a shot that can save my life. I don't need anybody that's scared of the moment, and that's 99% of players that play today. They're scared, they choke, they can't handle the pressure. It's too great. And what I've realized over the course of, several different eras of basketball is the pressure, it has grown, and it's grown so much because of the prior generations, because they were able to accomplish a lot, because they set the standard essentially. And so when you can't reach it, when you can't surpass, when you can't eclipse, when you can't even just elevate and you're stagnant, that's when you've got to force it. You have to force yourself on people because you haven't done anything greater than what the past has done. So because of that, we have things like advanced analytics. We have things that basically make up stats, make up accolades. Oh, in this many games, so-and-so surpassed this. Please, did you win a title? Is your team winning now? What are you doing to help your organization? We don't really talk about the things that matter. We talk about fake accomplishments. Now that we've talked about Charles Barkley's epic rant, we're going to move on to the next topic, which is Jimmy Butler. And so, obviously there's been a lot of chatter about Jimmy Buckets, so much. Today, it was announced in a shocking report that Jimmy would be suspended for 7 games. I want to take a moment to apologize to Shams Charania. He had the report right, and many people called him crazy, including myself, mainly because Jimmy's agent called him a liar. And I even said he should be let go from ESPN if he's, in fact, falsifying reports. So, Shams, you took one for the team. I know that you are a clutch plant, but you weren't lying about this. So shout out to you for this report. Pat Riley is not playing around with Jimmy Butler, not at all. Not one bit. And, this is what they're saying. So the report came out, we have suspended Jimmy Butler for 7 games for multiple instances of conduct detrimental to the team over the course of the season and particularly the last several weeks. Through his actions and statements, he has shown he no longer wants to be part of this team. Jimmy Butler and his representative have indicated that they wish to be traded. Therefore, we will listen to offers. So, Kendrick Perkins quickly responded and said, 7 games, ? What type of shit is that? Pat Riley's out of line, man. Of course, there's misspellings and grammatical errors because, I don't know, Kendrick Perkins cannot speak a declarative sentence. But, yeah. Jimmy Butler's been suspended for 7 games. The Jimmy Butler situation makes me sad. I can honestly say that I can see in this situation, I can see both sides of the coin, but I'm on the side of basketball. I'm on the side of basketball and what's good for the sport. That's what I'm on the side of. I'm on the side of paying guys whose career is waning does not put the best brand of basketball on the floor. I can't get jiggy with that. So I have to be on the side of basketball and what's best for the sport, period. This has to stop. Paying guys astronomical dollars and not being able to put together a team that can contend is just, it's not winning basketball. It's not a winning business model. Game Time with Sam Mitchell and Isaiah Thomas, they had a very interesting discussion. What Sam Mitchell said, it really resonated with me. And I'll play it for you guys, and then we'll go ahead and react.
Team has now responded. He is officially suspended for 7 games for, quote, multiple instances of conduct detrimental to the team. Now, this comes, guys, just 8 days after Pat Riley announced that they are not trading Jimmy Butler. The team is now saying that they're open for business from all offers. Coach, I just want to get your initial thoughts because this news just came out about 15, 20 minutes ago.
It's tough. I feel for the Miami Heat and players in that organization because Jimmy seems to do this everywhere he goes. He'll have a great run for 2, 3, 4 years, and then all of a sudden something will happen or something is said that he don't agree with. And Jimmy seems like the type of person, he just can't let stuff slide off his back.
Yeah.
He just can't let it go. It's like, he's like that kid, we're passing licks. He's got to get the last lick.
Yeah.
Or he's got to get the last word. And he's in a tough situation, and Miami's in a tough situation because, Zeke, you know this, you've been a general manager. You got an aging superstar that wants an extension. He see all this money, Paul George, all this money is being passed around. But yet he's been missing games. And in Miami culture, you got to be available, and you got to play to a certain standard. And when he didn't do that, Miami didn't offer him an extension. And so now he's upset. And to me, it's one thing, go in the office, not going to do it, sit down with Pat Riley, ask for a trade. But what he's doing now to his teammates.
Yeah.
See, I may be mad at the coach. I may be mad at the owner and the GM. But one thing I'm never going to do, I cannot do, I can't quit on y'all. Y'all my teammates. I just can't. We done been through too much. We hang out too much. I'm godparent, I'm this, I'm that. We're in each other's houses, we're friends, we're brothers. No matter what's going on with me, I can't quit on y'all. And that's the thing that's disturbing for me, for Jimmy. I can understand being upset with the organization. We've all been there. But being upset and quit on your teammates, who you have called your brothers, can't do it.
Yeah, all that you just laid out is true. So at the end of the day, when trust is broken between the player and the organization, and that's where we're at now, right? There's no trust between management. There's no trust between players. And when that trust is broken, Sam, when the organization says, forget you.
Yeah.
I'm using forget you
Yeah.
instead of the real one. And that player says, forget you, right? You got to separate. There's no coming back when it's public like this and the organization has basically said, this is where we stand. And the player has said, this is where we stand. Now, there's no happy medium. And the only place you can really get to is there's got to be a departure. There's got to be a breakup. And it seems like Miami and Jimmy Butler is headed for a breakup.
Yeah, and the team even said, too, that through the actions and statements, Jimmy has shown he no longer wants to be a part of the team. This is a tweet from Ira Winderman, Heat beat writer for the last 25-plus years. The length of the Butler suspension largely is moot. He will not be back, and such sanctions typically are appealed, and then a compromise is reached on a far lower figure, if anything at all, through the appeal process with the player union. Now, 7 games takes it through January 15th. It's January 3rd today. That gives the team about 12 days, technically, at this point, to figure something out, Coach. Do you think something does happen? I mean, what do you think happens?
They're going to get pennies on the dollar. You just saw what Ira said. It's a 7-game suspension, but he won't be back. And to me, they're going to get pennies on the dollar because if I'm going to trade for Jimmy, it's 2 things. He's got a $52 million option next year, and he's done this. He's crashed and burned every organization that he's been with. And you see what he did to Tom Thibodeau in Minnesota when Tibbs went out and got him from Chicago. He was so bad in Minnesota, they traded him for little or nothing. So, see, I don't know about you, man, but Miami going to get pennies on the dollar. This is not going to work out well for the Miami Heat. It may work out well for Jimmy, but not for the Heat.
Well, I think because of the new collective bargaining agreement, players who are at this age with this salary, it's extremely difficult to move them, almost impossible. And this is what the new CBA has done to the older players who are making money and they want that next extension. It's damn near impossible to get it.
Yeah. It's going to be really interesting to see how these next 2 weeks play out.
It's what Sam Mitchell said. For me, it's the old school mentality that I love. Basketball is not just about skill and athleticism. No sport is only about that. There's a certain mindset that you need to have, that you need to bring every single day, whether you're at practice or playing a competitive game. There's an ethos you have to live by, a code of conduct that you have with your organization and your teammates. There's a code. The fraternity in the NBA is gone. It's been gone for a very long time. What kind of fraternity was it when Kobe Bryant snitched on Shaq? Or when LeBron's teammate, Delonte West, slept with his mom? Kobe Bryant did a lot of work to drive a culture in the NBA as a veteran, but there's been damage to the culture. What about Tony Parker, and what he did to his teammate? How did that tie back to the fraternity? And Paul George. Guys are just sliming their own teammates for years. The fraternity is dead. The brotherhood is long gone. There's no trust, loyalty, and respect amongst teammates anymore. In the mafia, there's a general rule that made guys, they must answer the call no matter what. The boss of the family is more important than their wives, their mothers, than God himself. I'm not saying that the NBA should be prioritized over their families, but I'm saying that guys have no sense of loyalty. They will put themselves over the organization and never think about what's good for the core. It's disgusting. Jimmy Butler's conduct is unprofessional, and he has a history of the behavior. Now, one criticism that I have for Sam Mitchell is that I don't like that he was hammering on his pattern of incidents with franchises. I think it's deeper than Jimmy Butler is a problem child. It's why is he a problem child? Jimmy Butler was essentially abandoned by his mother. He was raised by a white family, and I'm sure he's always felt abandoned by his mother. Before the end of every contract, before a team can dump him, he needs to feel like he dumped them. He needs to act out and give them a reason not to pay him or to trade him. If he's going out, he must go out with a bang. He can never have a healthy breakup. That's basically what Sam Mitchell is trying to say. He even used the term that he needs to get his lick back. I almost fell out when he said that, but I felt it. Sam Mitchell is a real one. I do wish that he didn't go blood on Jimmy in that way, because he has helped the Miami Heat be an exciting team to watch over the past several seasons, bringing them to the conference finals, I think 4 times and twice to the finals. No, he never won. And Pat Riley is definitely, for sure, he's not going to congratulate almost. And why is that? Because almost doesn't count, right? If he can turn around and decide not to extend Dwayne Wade and be the only owner in all of NBA history to stand up to LeBron James, then I don't see how he's at all worried about Jimmy Butler, and I don't see him rewarding this behavior. Jimmy Butler's behaving like a child who just wants attention for being bad and doesn't want to be abandoned by his mother yet again. So he needs to give people a reason to leave him. Very classic. I want to know what you guys think. Was the 7-game suspension deserved? I think it was. Jimmy Butler is completely out of control for becoming such a huge distraction to the team. And I'm very disappointed in his behavior as a 35-year-old professional NBA player. I want to hear from you guys. Call in, tell me what you think. Was the suspension deserved? I'll go ahead and put the phone line up, and I'll read some comments in the meantime. Yeah, I'm really disappointed in Jimmy. I really am. I just don't think that he needed to go out this way. I don't think that this is how you end a tenure with a team. The Miami Heat, what have they done wrong? I really want to know, what have they done wrong? They weren't looking to trade him mid-season. They drafted a contract, he signed it, he agreed, and they're paying him. And he's violating the terms of that contract. Jakendrick Williams, call in. Tell me why I'm wrong. I would love to hear from you. Call in, talk to me nice. Tell me why I'm wrong about Jimmy Butler. I would love to know. I just don't think that he's entitled to an extension. He's entitled to get paid through the end of his contract, and that's what the Miami Heat are doing. And I don't see how they've done anything wrong to him. Jimmy wants to be praised for getting to the finals and losing. He was out of pocket last season. Absolutely. Even just criticizing other teams when you weren't on the floor, shut your damn mouth. Pat Riley was 1,000,000% right to make that criticism. Did he need to do it publicly? I'm not sure about that, but he was asked a question. He answered it. I think that he was very frank. I think he was real. And it is what it is. Jimmy Butler should not be giving teams bulletin material. He should not be bragging that he would have done anything when, in fact, he was on the bench, not playing. Thank you for calling Sports Tea. Caller from LA, talk to me nice. Can you do me a favor, caller from LA? Can you go ahead and mute your background so there's no echo?
Okay, sure. All right.
All righty.
How's
Talk to
that?
me nice. It's fantastic. Who do I have on the line?
This is Josh Toussaint.
You said John Toussaint?
Josh.
Josh, so nice to hear from you. So tell me, did Jimmy Buckets deserve to be suspended?
I'm sitting here looking at it from far and keeping up with the headlines and pretty much knowing how Jimmy operates. But I think it's overblown that we look at brotherhood in the NBA and we emphasize it only when it's the players that I guess they try to create their own narrative. But when the organization decides to trade them season, or I don't think they give them a heads up. They're not looking at the brotherhood that they have with their teams. They find out through the media. So it's fair across the
It seems like I lost you, Josh. I think you have a bad connection on your end. Are you there? Hold on a sec. Are you there?
Yes,
Yes, I can hear you.
okay. Where did you leave off with what I was saying?
I'm not too sure. We were talking about Jimmy Butler and his suspension.
Okay, yeah. So basically, I think that the brotherhood portion of it is alone. When the organization decides to trade a player, regardless of whatever that organization is, they don't necessarily give players a heads up. Hey, your brother's about to get traded, or so forth and so on. It's a business, and that's what people fail to realize. Those players and everyone that's a part of the NBA, they should be looking at their own self-interest because they are getting paid to do a job. And when things don't go their way, we all catch fits, And so I don't think Jimmy wants to be here. And I think it's Pat Riley using the old school way of saying, okay, I'm going to embarrass you before you get up on there because you're not doing it the old good boy way. That's just my opinion.
I understand what you're saying, and I think that there is I think that that is a discussion that needs to be had. Like, oh, basically, I totally hear what you're saying. Essentially, players are in golden handcuffs. I say this all the time. They're in golden handcuffs. They are being held down. They are still oppressed. There's still a lot of league oppression, institutional racism, all kinds of things, right? And then when they don't just go along with something and, to your point, be a good little black boy, uh, then what happens? They're denigrated, they're embarrassed, their dignity is taken from them, all kinds of things, right? I just don't think that that's what's happening in this case with Jimmy Butler. I don't think that Pat Riley intended to embarrass him whatsoever. I think that Jimmy Butler is being very disrespectful to their organization. And honestly, to the NBA, players do have the right to look out for their own personal interests. It is a business, to your point. And I think that the organizations are going to make business decisions all the time. And I think that contracts dictate that. These players do sign on to them and they agree. And then there's that business side of it, right? That comes into play all the time. That doesn't change the fact that there's a fraternity. NBA players have always been traded at will. Organizations have always had the opportunity to trade players at any point in time, and players are making more money than they've ever been. So why are you angry about getting traded or going and picking up a contract elsewhere? Also, I think what's really important is that just because you're being traded doesn't mean that you have to disrespect your entire team on your way out. The contract negotiations aren't going the right way, so still show up as a professional. When you don't like seriously though, think about everybody, that goes to work, they have a regular 9 to 5 job. How many times have you, applied for a promotion, or maybe you thought that you were up for promotion and perhaps you didn't get it. And your boss came back and told you, you know what, you're just not ready yet. Let's wait another year or two. That didn't go your way. Does that mean that you stop showing up to work? Does that mean that you stop doing your job because you feel deflated? But you do feel deflated when you're told you're not ready for a promotion and you're not aligned with where your boss thinks you're at in your development. That happens all the time to people every single day. But for some reason, NBA players, athletes, people who are being paid astronomical dollars of money feel that they are entitled to something different. They feel that what they're doing is not a job. And which one is it? Is it a business? Is it a job? Or is it you come to work crying every day about what you want, and when you don't get it, you continue to cry. And then you throw yourself down on the floor like you have terrible twos. So we have to, if we're calling it a business, then we have to treat it that way. You have to show up professionally. It's not about being on the sidelines and, looking like a ridiculous clown in some outfit. Show up professionally. We don't even see them dress professionally anymore. They look crazy as hell.
I get that, and like the guy before said, once you lower the standard, it starts at the top, and everything underneath that begins to follow suit. And so when the class is disorderly, who's going to step in and correct it? And so even with, and I know it's off the subject, but it's almost like the entire NBA has become a clown show, and it's a lot of different reasons. And I grew up watching it over the years. I mean, I grew up watching every era from Jordan to Kobe to now to LeBron and Steph. And it's really more about hype and creating narratives versus competition and the competitive aspect of it. And so with Jimmy Butler situation, I get it. He's showing up, but he's not playing hard. And so what would you prefer? If I'm upset with the boss at work, I can still show up, but us being in the same presence with each other every day, no one's got to move. And most likely it's going to be me if I'm the person that's working for him, even if I show up.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I think that this was a great call, and I want to say thank you so much, Josh. You're awesome.
Okay, appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Alrighty. Bye-bye. So, Jakendrick Williams, I do want to answer your comment. So, all of this is Jimmy's fault. None of this is Pat Riley's fault. No. And I think the beginning of what I was saying was that I understand both sides of the coin. Jimmy Butler didn't get the help that he needed. Pat Riley had multiple opportunities to retool the team. He did not. He really did not really make any moves to make the Miami Heat better. He felt that they had all the pieces that they needed, and he was unwilling to do anything else. Boston got better. Multiple teams got better. The Bucks got better. I never really saw any major improvements to the Miami Heat. It's like Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler were expected to do the impossible, which was just crazy to me. So, yeah, I think that Pat Riley does own some blame, but that doesn't mean that we're going to excuse Jimmy Butler's behavior. You don't have to like what your boss, how your boss performed. Pat Riley has accountability to Jimmy Butler in this too. And the best way for Jimmy Butler to hold the Miami Heat accountable is to leave the team, not to publicly denigrate them. Relationships change, and that's okay. This business relationship has changed. It's no longer working. It doesn't mean that they need to disrespect each other in public. So I can't get jiggy with it. I can't. Jimmy Butler, I'm on the side of basketball. And because I'm on the side of basketball, what Pat Riley is doing, he is deciding that he is not going to be ran over by a player whose career is waning. Pat Riley is not going to be ran over. He's just not going to do it. He's not going to rush out and make bad trades. Jimmy Butler being suspended for 7 games gives the Miami Heat cushion to find the best deal for him. Who knows where this is going to lead? If they're not getting the deal that they are looking for Jimmy Butler, he's not going to be traded. I can see them sending him home. I can see this going a really bad direction. This season is pretty much a wash anyway. So why are they going to rush out and make a deal for Jimmy Butler? Let him sit at home and pout. It's not like any move that they're going to make this season is going to turn them into a contender. Let's be for real. I would take this to the far end of hell. I would not oblige Jimmy Butler, and I would not trade him. But, that's just me. Looks like we had a super chat that came through. Salute to you, Brown B. Barkley smoking on that JJ pack. Love inside the NBA. They keep it real and make the NBA watchable. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat, Brown B. Facts. Barkley is definitely smoking on a JJ pack. I love it. You know I do. Guys, by the way, shout out to Grape Tea News. Head over there and subscribe to their channel. Amazing content surrounding current events. Like, share, and subscribe. Let's see where we're at with likes, by the way. Let's check it out. We're at 130 likes. We have 245 people in the chat. Let's get to 200 likes tonight, guys. I know we can do it. So, I mean, we talked about it. We talked about Barkley's rant, Jimmy's suspension so far, and I'm excited to say that Kawhi Leonard is going to be back. So apparently he's coming back. He's my next topic for the night. And, Chris Haynes reported it first. I'll go ahead and play it for you guys.
Hey everybody, this is Chris Haynes, and this is your Haynes Brief. I just received word that Los Angeles Clippers superstar Kawhi Leonard is expected to make his season debut tomorrow, Saturday, against the Atlanta Hawks. Kawhi's been out up until this point with that right knee injury. I'm told he's feeling good. He wants to go tomorrow. The Clippers want to be cautious, but the expectation is that Kawhi will make his return Saturday against the Hawks.
Okay. I mean, I can't wait to see this game. Similar to Dr. J, Kawhi Leonard was my favorite player when he was healthy. He was my guy. When he was healthy and available, that was my guy. Chris Haynes, obviously he was the first to report this. Shout out to Chris Haynes. I've always preferred him to some other folks that are reporting. But I am excited to watch the Claw tomorrow. He's just incredible, even in spurts. But I'm tired of Kawhi, and I personally want him to retire because he's not healthy enough to play. I think he's played less than 100 games in 5 seasons with the Clippers. How is that even possible? How is that even acceptable? Why should he be given a 4-year leave of absence? When is his role going to be filled? When are they going to even post the position? This is crazy to me. The Clippers will continue to be a disaster and the stepchild of LA. Steve Ballmer didn't deserve this, but he got suckered. He got bamboozled. Kawhi will start playing again when it's time for another contract. What do you guys think? Should Kawhi retire? I'll read some comments before I move on to the next topic. Kawhi will be hurt before the playoffs. All these old guys trying to recoup it over take it like a man. Crazy. How is LeBron managing to score 30 plus every night since he came back from a break at 40? Your guess is as good as mine. LaBalco Gate is very real. If the silly owners want to pay Kawhi, let them. Why should Kawhi retire? I don't know. Just for his own dignity and respect. Brandon Roy would have made generational wealth playing today. It's crazy how, shit, maybe he'd still be playing today. Larry Bird could have scrubbed around a couple more years with the Celtics, even offered him a 2-year deal just to be on the roster. Dominique took the words right off my comment as soon as I was about to send it. I think Popovich and the Raptors hex Kawhi. Worst move ever to leave Toronto. He should have signed a 2-year extension with us. I wish he stayed with Toronto, but Kawhi Leonard is not really, he doesn't play in the NBA for his love of the game. And I actually really enjoy his game, but he is just all about himself, his personal desires. He wants to live in LA, so that's why he plays for the Clippers. He did want to compete against LeBron instead of playing alongside him. I will give him credit for that. But I can't believe that he would leave a team that he won a title with to go and play with Paul George. Seriously? A serial fucking loser in Paul George. Absolutely disgusting. Exactly. And look, I don't know if it was 100 games. I just know that he has not been available for the Clippers for majority of his tenure. Yeah. Took a vacation to the Balco lab. You're right. Probably get shut down. Watch Kawhi start a whole mini movie to hype up the media on his return just to play 10 games. Kawhi is weird. He's very weird. Very, very weird. Kawhi has a great laugh. Yeah, that one time we saw him laugh. Paul George tries to sound like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant when he talks, but he doesn't have the game to back it up. Paul George is a serial loser. He's a podcaster. Pandemic P. I also call him pitiful P, petulant P, pathetic P. It's just so many P words for him. This is a good one. Podcast P has more videos than games this year. Facts. Salute to you, Pikachu Reynolds. Okay, guys. We've spoken. And look, you guys have asked me who my MVP was this season so far. You know, I know that I haven't. Look, we've spoken about it briefly about the MVP race in the NBA. And I would say somehow the media has narrowed the race down to Jokic and SGA. I want to pull up a graphic from fadeaway.net. They wrote up a cool article about this. And I mean, if I have a gun to my head and I have to vote between these guys, I'm going to go with SGA. And so I don't know if you guys remember, I showed you guys the MVP ladder that was reported last week. I think I put this up for you guys. The leaders were currently SGA, Nikola Jokic, Giannis, Jason Tatum, Karl Anthony Towns. This was a couple of days ago. I showed you guys this. But, you know, somehow the media have made it all about these two guys, SGA and Jokic. And I think the Denver Nuggets are the 3rd or the 4th seed in the West. And as you can see, Jokic is averaging 30 points. Shea is averaging 31. Jokic is killing Shea Gilgeous in rebounds and assists, but yet Shea is showing his defensive prowess. He's averaging more steals. He's averaging more blocks, yet it's totally crazy to me because Jokic is a fucking center. He's 7 feet tall. Yet Shea Gilgeous is averaging more blocks per game than him. Jokic shouldn't be even handling the ball that much, yet he's averaging almost 4 turnovers a game. So it is interesting that he has a higher player efficiency rating as well as a higher shooting percentage. He's likely going to get some shots closer to the basket. That makes sense. I'm rolling with SGA. SGA should have been given the MVP last year over Jokic. And I mean, and this is if I have to choose between the two of them. I didn't believe in SGA as MVP last year, and I don't believe in him as MVP this year. And, you know, the media is saying that the race is between these two guys. SGA, like I said, if I have a gun to my head, I'm rolling with SGA. Their team has the better record and will likely advance further in the postseason. I don't think the Nuggets will go far this postseason unless they somehow secure Jimmy Butler in a midseason trade. I know there were also rumors of Michael Porter Jr. going to Chicago for Zach LaVine. I'm not sure what happened there, but I don't think it's going to be a good trade for them. OKC was just playing in the NBA Cup, and they have the best record in the West. I'm rolling with SGA 2 years in a row. His team is going to have the best record in the West, being the number 1 seed. And Jokic could somehow get it again over him? That's crazy to me. I'm rolling with SGA. If I have to choose between him and Jokic, because leading the West has to mean something. What's the purpose of your team being the number 1 team in your division and it counts for nothing? Jokic was MVP last season. And he was a second round knockout, and OKC was the number 1 seed. They're the number 1 seed again this year. And SGA deserves the MVP if it's really between him and Jokic. I would rather see Giannis win the MVP or even Donovan Mitchell. But of course, the best team in the league never has the MVP candidates. It's always somehow a political decision or an idea of Adam Silver to promote foreign players since, he's developing a whole new league, a whole new foreign league specifically. Don't get me started on Adam Alien Conehead Silver. Complete fucking disgrace. But what do you guys think? Who is this year's MVP? If you have to decide right now, who's the MVP? I'll read some comments and then we'll call it a night. The reason why I would say that is because, yes, Shea got bounced in the second round, but I didn't expect him to go to the second round. I thought they would get bounced in the first round. The Nuggets were the defending champs. So if you think that they were on equal footing, I wouldn't say that. I didn't believe in SGA last year to be MVP, and I don't believe in him this year to be MVP, and I don't believe in OKC to win the title. I didn't last year, and I don't this year. But I believe even less in the Nuggets and Jokic. I believe that OKC is built to go further than the Nuggets and Jokic. Their team is constructed better. They have better pieces. They're playing better. The Nuggets look god awful in most games. They're relying on Russell Westbrook to take them somewhere. That's not a winning formula. Russell Westbrook is playing much better alongside Nikola Jokic, which I'm happy to see. I'm happy to see him out there, being the best version of himself off the bench or in the starting lineup and doing whatever it takes for the team to win. But the Nuggets are not built to have a deep playoff run. They lost a lot of really great pieces over the last 2 to 3 seasons. And it's just flat out, it's a shame that they, that they're just not going to be in contention the way that people want to think that they are going to be every season. But yeah, I mean, SGA getting knocked out in the second round means a lot less than Jokic getting knocked out, especially given that they were trying to repeat for a title. Facts. I mean, SGA has more blocks than Jokic. That's crazy to me. I know it's not Adam Silver's decision, but there's a lot that he can do to influence MVP voting. Let's be for real. If you think that he's powerless, then I've got a very expensive Golden Gate Bridge to sell you. Sheesh. He looks like a conehead. That's what he looks like, an alien conehead. A pale conehead. I want SGA to win it, but Joker is easily the best and most valuable. It's so crazy that we're calling a guy that cannot run, jump, or dunk the ball the best and most valuable. It's almost laughable. But this is where we're at in the state of the NBA, where Jokic is an amazing player. And he is. He is an amazing player. When you line him up against the other competition, he's doing fantastic. And I cannot take that away from him. He's knocking down that ugly ass jump shot. I have never seen it's not even a jump shot. He like leans back and he looks like a paraplegic and somehow the shot goes in. I have never in my life seen something like that. His shot is uglier than Sean Marion's. Hey, Master Melton. Nice to hear from you. Salute, Dom34. Guys, smash the like button for me. Let's see where we're at. Did we meet our goal for likes yet? 150, not bad. We have 246 in the room with us. Let's try to get 50 more likes. Come on, run those likes up for me. What about Wembanyama? I don't see him as an MVP candidate yet. That's like saying Caitlin Clark was MVP. I mean, like, I just don't think, like, I think that he's going to be an incredible player. I think that he's going to be definitely someone that, we're watching. But I mean, I don't think that he's playing. I don't think this is an MVP season for him. I don't see it. I don't see that. You have to be able to lift your team. And Wemby, I don't think that he's lifting his team enough to be eligible for MVP. I think that the MVP candidate has to be at least in, the first 4 spots as far as like team standings. Let's talk about the Bucks tomorrow. I'm actually on the run from that conversation. I was very upset that they lost to the Nets yesterday. And look, they had a back-to-back, but I was pissed. And as I was watching, it just didn't even look like they were almost going to win that game at any point. They didn't even believe in themselves. They played with, to me, they just had a lackluster effort. What I'll say is that they had an incredible comeback. I think they were down 24 points, but the way they came out in that first half, it was god awful. And that's how they got in that hole. And for D'Lo to get traded from the Lakers to the Nets and go off and beat Giannis and Dame is wild. So, yes, I was not happy with the Bucks, and we can talk about them. We can talk about them tomorrow. I'll do a little something. But I'm not happy with them right now. And I'm definitely not happy with the Warriors. I can't stand Draymond Green. I want him out of the league. I just want him gone. If he was playing during like the Kobe era or, like he would have been out. He wouldn't have had all these opportunities to wreak havoc and hold the Warriors hostage the way that he's been able to do that. I just cannot stand him. I don't know. I think Sean Marion's was uglier than Lonzo's. Lonzo Ball's jumper was god awful too. So horrible. And yes, Draymond Green is a cancer. But guys, I think we should call it a night. It was so lovely to be here with you guys tonight. Really great conversation, great calls that we had. Yeah, I really appreciate you guys joining me. Do me a favor, like, share, and subscribe. I'll be back later on tonight. And I hope to see you all there. Thank you so much. Shout out to you. Salute to you, Grape Tea News. Really appreciate you, Brother Juma. Shout out to all the moderators. Thank you so much for holding me down. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Like, share, and subscribe. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys later tonight. Bye-bye.